4, leaving River alone with the echo of the whistle and his own quiet hope. The days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months. The puppy grew, his coat becoming thicker, his gaze more melancholic. The seasons changed around him, the vibrant green of spring, the golden sun of summer, the crisp leaves of autumn, and the cold, white blanket of winter. Through it all, River waited. He was the station's faithful secret, a small furry monument to loyalty, forever waiting for a train that would bring him a home. One crisp autumn afternoon, a new passenger arrived. It was an elderly woman with kind, crinkled eyes, and by her side trotted a beautiful golden retriever, her tail wagging like a metronome of pure joy. Her name was Maple. As the old woman sat on a bench to wait for her connecting train, Maple's curious eyes found River, who was sitting in his usual spot, trying to make himself small and invisible. Instead of barking or growling, Maple approached slowly, her movements gentle and inquisitive. She sat down a few feet away from him, not too close to be intrusive, but close enough to say, "I see you." For the first time, River didn't feel like a ghost on the platform. He felt seen. The old woman smiled, and from that day on, their visits became a ritual. Every week, she would travel to the next town and back. And every week, Maple would spend her waiting time with River. She would sit with him, sharing the quiet comfort of her presence. The silence between them wasn't empty. It was filled with an unspoken understanding. Maple's visits became the brightest spots in River's lonely existence. The lonely wait was no longer just his, it was theirs. He started looking forward to the sound of that specific train, the one that brought his friend Maple, had brought color back into his monochrome world. His tail, which had long been still, began to give small, hopeful thumps against the concrete whenever he saw her approaching. The station was no longer just a place of waiting. It had become a place of meeting. As the seasons cycled once more, the bond between River and Maple deepened. Winter arrived, dusting the station with a fine layer of snow. The cold seeped into River's bones, but the warmth of Maple's friendship kept the chill at bay. The old woman would often bring extra biscuits, breaking them in half and giving one piece to Maple and the other to River. They would munch on them side by side, their breath creating little clouds in the frosty air. On those cold days, Maple would lie closer to River, sharing her body heat, a silent gesture of care that spoke volumes. They watched the snow fall, covering the tracks in a pristine white sheet. Then came spring, and with it the scent of blooming flowers and fresh rain. They would chase butterflies that flitted around the platform, their playful barks echoing in the open air. In summer, they sought shade under the station's small awning, panting together in the heat, their tongues lolling out. They watched the long, lazy sunsets paint the sky in hues of orange and pink. Through rain and shine, they were a team. They had their own language, a mix of nudges, licks, and shared glances. One afternoon, as a train roared past, Maple nudged